Y'all, grab your wigs, pour the tea, and secure your edges, because what we just uncovered is messier than Kirk Frost's Dims on a Friday night. The so-called sisterhood between Yandy Smith and Rasheeda Frost, baby. It was faker than a BBL in the discount section of Instagram surgery ads. And guess who just snatched the curtains wide open? None other than the unfiltered queen of chaos herself, Tasha K. Now ask yourself, why would Rasheeda, who cried on national TV over Kirk's motel slip-ups and secret side babies, turn around and throw shade at the only woman who stood by her when the world was dragging her lace front through the dirt? What really happened behind the scenes of Love and Hip Hop We? Did Rasheeda suddenly pull a we aren't? Even friends like that moment after years of sisterhood hot tub scandals and baby mama cleanups? Oh, honey, we got leaked texts. Explosive. Receipts and sources claiming this betrayal goes deeper than Rasheeda's tolerance for Kirk's lies. And yes, we're naming names, exposing games, and dragging egos one wig tug at a time. Stay tuned because this ain't just drama. It's a full-blown reality TV reckoning. All right, now, buckle up and sit tight because we're about to dive into a tale more twisted than Kirk Frost's excuses and more performative than a Love and Hip Hop reunion hug. It's time to investigate the fall of a friendship that, let's be honest, might have never been real to begin with. We're talking about none other than Rasheeda, Boss Chick Frost, and Yandy Woman Smith, two women who were once glued together. Tighter than Rasheeda's high ponytail in Atlanta humidity, but behind those giggles, glam shots, and sisterhood. Speeches was a backstage betrayal so shady even Mona Scott would be like, wait, what enter? Tasha K, the internet's messiest truth teller. Your favorite blogger's worst nightmare. And the one woman who doesn't knock before bargaining into the receipts room, and when Tasha came through with the tea, baby, she poured it boiling, no sugar, no creamer, just straight scandal. So let's rewind for a second, picture it season after season. We've seen Yandy and Rasheeda ride through the chaos together when Kirk was caught cheating again. Who had Rasheeda's back? Not Candy, not Carly, not even Erica. It was Yandy while Kirk was out here living like he was on tour with future. Yandy was the one cleaning up Rasheeda's emotional mess, defending her, comforting her, and let's be real, sometimes making Rasheeda look less foolish on camera. But fast forward to this recent season of Love and Hip Hop, and suddenly Rasheeda's out here talking like Yandy ain't even her friend. Curlew? Like, not just we grew apart or we had a misunderstanding. No, Rasheeda straight up said Yandy was never her friend, and went on to say she doesn't want to be friends with someone just because it's a good look for them. Excuse me, are we talking about Yandy or your own reflection, ma'am? Now let's be clear, Yandy is not everyone's favorite. Some folks say she's too polished, others think she's too strategic, but one thing nobody can deny, she rides for her circle. When Kirk was out here embarrassing Rasheeda like it was his full-time job, who was defending her? Yandy? When rumors were flying about Kirk's mystery baby mama, the hot tub situation, the secret apartments, and oops, I cheated dog into Yandy. Never once threw shade. And how does Rasheeda repay her? By sitting pretty in confessional interviews with Kendra Robinson, that courtroom slick clone version of Rasheeda herself, and throwing subtle shade like, oh, we not really friends, baby. Shady was a sport. Rasheeda would be Olympic gold medal material, and just when we thought this couldn't get any messier, Tasha K stepped into the chat. Literally, she came in swinging like a courtroom McDropper and exposed the receipts behind the betrayal. According to Tasha, the whole "we're not friends" line wasn't a random slip, it was premeditated PR mess to distance Rasheeda from Yandy before new rumors about Mendez could surface. Hold up, we'll get to that messy part in a bit, but let's focus here. Why would Rasheeda, the woman who built a brand on keeping it classy, running press boutique, and publicly taking Kirk back about 47 times, suddenly decide to shade the one woman who stood with her through all that humiliation? Well, word on the street, and by street we mean Tasha K's anonymous sources and inbox leaks, is that Rasheeda was never really comfortable with Yandy's spotlight. Allegedly, Rasheeda felt that Yandy was too polished and too brand safe, basically saying she was fake. But what's ironic here? Rasheeda has been faking a perfect marriage for TV for the past 10 years, while Kirk is out here doing more live auditions on the side, one anonymous source close to the cast told Tasha K. Rasheeda always had a bit of jealousy toward Yandy. She felt like producers gave Yandy more screen time, and even though Yandy wasn't from Atlanta, she got treated like a queen on the franchise. Meanwhile, Rasheeda was stuck doing damage control for Kirk every season, yikes. And if that wasn't enough, remember that wild flashback with Jessica Dime? Oh yes, let's rewind back when Rasheeda had a heated moment with a girl named Pressure P, possibly one of Kirk's alleged situationships. Rasheeda did what she always does, got up and left the scene, but guess who stayed? And literally pythons on someone to defend Rasheeda's honor, Jessica Dime, yep, the same dime piece, who had her own brand and career but risked it all to defend Kata's messy marriage, and now Yandy's in that same position. The friend who defended you, stood by you, gave Kata you loyalty only to be discarded like last season's press fashion line. And don't forget, Yandy also defended Rasheeda publicly, even when the whole world was dragging Kirk for filth. She never cracked a joke about Kirk's earrings, his side babies, or his midnight jacuzzi parties with randoms. Nothing. But when Mendy C's was spotted in a Snapchat scandal with a Latina woman in leopard pants, Rasheeda wasted no time throwing shade and raising questions about whether Yandy and Mendy were even legally married. Baby projection much. And here's the kicker: Rasheeda's so-called shade session with Kendra, it didn't even come off like a casual slip. It looked like a full-on stage moment, like they'd been rehearsing it over brunch. And don't worry, we'll get into Kendra's clone behavior and her own messy man jock in part 2, because oh baby, she got nerves jumping in this conversation when her own man's DMs got more traffic than Peachtree Street. But before we go there, let's pause. Let's talk about the moment that really set the internet on fire, that scene where Rasheeda said she doesn't want to be friends with Yandy because it's a good look for her. That line, it echoed fans. Where shook, blogs exploded, Twitter went on a meltdown, and guess what? Tasha K was ready. In her signature loud and unapologetic style, she posted, "Rasheeda got a man who cheats on her yearly, financially, controls everything in his name, and has the nerve to question another woman's loyalty. If you don't sit down and check your husband's Snapchat before shading Yandy, I swear to God." She even joked that Kirk and Mendy should switch reality shows. At least Mendy has enough sense to keep his side activities private. But folks, this is just scratching the surface, because what happens next in the Mendy's cheating allegations, Kendra's messy hypocrisy, and a possible love triangle twist will make you question everything you thought you knew about friendship, loyalty, and just how fake reality TV can get. So where were we? Oh, right in the middle of this. Messier than a love triangle reality TV fueled betrayal bomb. In part 1, we broke down how Rasheeda went from being Yandy's ride or die to, I don't even know her like that, real quick. But now we step into the true chaos, because while Rasheeda was busy giving shade with a side of gaslight, Kendra Robinson, Miss Legal Eagle turned Rasheeda too. Zero decided to jump into the ring like somebody tagged her in. Let's just call it what it is. Kendra had no business inserting herself into Yandy and Rasheeda's mess. Sis, your own man, little jock, is out here playing America's Next Top Cheater, and you're worried about friendship levels between two women you barely even rock with. But we'll come back to her. Let's get into the Snapchat scandal, because this wasn't just gossip. This was the alleged trigger behind Rasheeda's sudden flip on Yandy. Word on the digital streets was that Mendy C's, Yandy's longtime partner and husband's, we'll get to the legal part in a second, had been caught posting a photo of a Latina woman in leopard print pants on Snapchat. And no, it wasn't tagged as inspo or fashion goals. This woman's assets were front and center in the shot, and the caption, apparently something vague like working with a sly emoji. That one post, that one snap turned into a firestorm. But Yandy, parade and paparazzi proof, jumped in quick. She Said it was content, said it was for a social media project that Mendy C's was doing, said she knew about it, and just like that, the drama should have died down, but nope, enter Rasheeda. Stage left with a slick grin and that I'm above it tone casually, saying I don't even think. They're legally married. Didn't she say something about forgetting to send the paperwork in? Excuse? Me, so now we're attacking marriages because your man can't keep it zipped in hotel rooms. Let's be real, Rasheeda was never checking for Yandy's love life until hers started looking like a Lifetime special gone wrong, and suddenly the best way to deflect tension from Kirk's annual cheating pilgrimage was to throw Yandy and Mendy C's under the bus. Classic reality show misdirection. Let's talk about someone else's drama. So, mine don't look so bad, but Tasha K, baby. She doesn't miss a thing. She dug deep, deeper than a love and hip-hop reunions, fake apologies, and came back with exclusive tea, allegedly a former production assistant on the show told Tasha there was always tension between Yandy and Rasheeda. Behind the scenes, they smiled for the cameras, but Rasheeda didn't like how Yandy would step in and take control of situations, especially when it came to supporting other women on the show. That same source also claimed Rasheeda felt overshadowed during scenes with Yandy, and that producers often favored Yandy's clean image over Rasheeda's always in damage control storyline. Now, is this jealousy, insecurity, or just two women with clashing egos? Either way, it wasn't genuine friendship, and the men's marriage shade few. Don't get me started. Let's talk about that infamous "I never mailed the marriage certificate" confession. Yandy did say that years ago. On camera, she admitted they'd had a full wedding, officiant vows, rings, kakiv, everything. But she never filed the legal papers. According to her, it was strategic. She didn't want to be financially liable for Mendy's past legal troubles. Make sense, especially when you're protecting your brand and raising kids. But Rasheeda, who has literally built an empire on standing by your cheating man no matter what, decided to use that against her girl. You let Kirk Frost, who has multiple confirmed side babies, handle your finances, your brand, your stores, and you're clowning Yandy for smart paperwork management. The hypocrisy is glowing like Kendra's forehead under reunion lights. And speaking of Kendra, let's talk about why she had the nerve to co-sign anything Rasheeda said about loyalty, marriage, or friendships. This is the same Kendra who's been in a will they won't they divorce saga with little Jock for what feels like 10 seasons. The man literally admitted on TV that he wasn't faithful. He showed up late to their wedding. He flirted at his bachelor party. Jock treats commitment like it's an optional promo code, and Kendra wants to question someone else's man. Chili, please. But that's the power of groupthink. You sit someone next to a Mick long enough, and they start believing they're the main character. Kendra probably thought siding with Rasheeda would give her grown woman vibes, but all it did was make her look like a glorified sidekick in a two-woman clapback show. Even fans started calling it out online. Fake fan tweets surfaced. Kendra out here worried about Yandy's ring when Jock still can't spell monogamy. Girl by Rasheeda thinks Yandy's marriage ain't real, but Kirk's side baby was make it make sense. And just when we thought we'd reached peak pettiness, Tasha K dropped the bomb. In a follow-up live stream, she claimed Rasheeda had been throwing shade at Yandy for years. This wasn't no random comment. This was jealousy bubbling up. Yandy's brand is tight. Her man don't embarrass her every season, and that makes Rasheeda uncomfortable, period. She even hinted that there may be DMs and texts between Rasheeda and other cast members mocking Yandy behind her back. That part's still unconfirmed, but if true, yikes. Let's not forget Yandy was also there for Kendra back when her marriage was falling apart like a Fashion Nova zipper, when Jock was threatening divorce, who sat with Kendra off camera and tried to talk her through it. Yandy, and now both Rasheeda and Kendra are double teaming her. Like, this is mean Girls Atlanta edition. It's giving use her then lose her energy. But here's what stings the most. In all of this, Yandy didn't even fight back. No Instagram clapback NASA tweet. No messy confessional, just silence. And that's silence that's louder than any shade Rasheeda could throw, because while Rasheeda is still defending a man who cheats like it's his side, Hustle Yandy is raising a family, running businesses, managing scandals, and somehow still staying graceful. That's why Tasha K said what she said. Yandy outgrew them, period. She was never one of them. She was just nice enough to pretend. And if that ain't the truth, I don't know what is. But don't go anywhere, because in part 3, we're diving into the possible fallout from all this drama. Think legal threats, producer beef, fake friendships collapsing, and the quiet whispers of a possible love and hip hop shakeup. And trust me, when fake friends fall apart, the empire follows. Do we've already being knee-deep in shade scandal and Snapchat secrets, but don't think the fallout stopped their baby. Nah. This was just the beginning, because after Tasha K flipped the table with her tell-all tea about Rasheeda and Yandy, the love and hip-hop universe started cracking at the seams like Kirk Frost. Loyalty, let's talk backlash, and not just from fan sources. Claim that executive producers weren't thrilled with Rasheeda's sudden on-camera comments about Yandy's marriage being fake. Why? Because Yandy's storyline was still under development, and this surprise betrayal came off script. One insider allegedly told Tasha K producers were mad because Rasheeda jumped the gun that drama was supposed to simmer over a few episodes. But she blew the lid off in one scene and blindsided the crew. So, nowhere, not just talking about friendship ending, we're talking about potential production drama reshoots, emergency confessional interviews, even Aramord's sit-down between Mona Scott and the cast to realign the narrative. Yes, baby, when fake friends start playing producer contracts, start shaking, and guess what? It doesn't end with just production woes. Let's talk brand damage, because Yandy and Rasheeda aren't just reality stars, they're brands. They sell image, influence, and Instagram partnerships. And when Rasheeda threw that not-so-subtle shade on camera, she wasn't just questioning a friendship. She was planting seeds of doubt into Yandy's public reputation. But Yandy sis didn't even flinch. No. Tearful Instagram live, no cryptic captions, NASA tweets. She played it cool like a woman who's been in the game long enough to know. Real power, don't panic. But behind the scenes, sources say Yandy's team took that moment very seriously. There's talk that her PR team quietly reached out to VH1 requesting control over how her marriage narrative plays out. They didn't want another woman with a cheating husband trying to project her insecurities onto Yandy's house, especially when Mindy sees, despite all the swirling rumors, hasn't been caught with so much as a text thread of proof. Unlike, Kirk, whose receipts could fill an entire storage unit. Meanwhile, Tasha K wasn't letting up. In fact, she doubled down, releasing another video claiming Rasheeda's sudden flip was all about deflection. Allegedly, a brand deal was in jeopardy over new cheating allegations against Kirk and Rasheeda needed to shift the audience focus fast, and who better to distract the public than Yandy and her allegedly unofficial marriage? Now that's dirty, but let's pivot to the real consequences. The ones Rasheeda probably didn't see coming. First of all, fans started calling her out. Hard tweets flooded timelines like Yandy helped you fix your face every time. Kirk, embarrassed you, and this is how you repay her. Rasheeda been quiet about Kirk's 5-year affair, but suddenly loud about Yandy's wedding certificate. Girl, bye. This ain't friendship drama, this is envy in a lace front. And when Twitter turns baby, the brands start backing up to priest at Rasheeda's boutique reportedly saw a drop in engagement the week the episode aired. Fans started tagging the store with shady captions like "I came for fashion, not betrayal, and do sell loyalty here." Or not even worse, some whispers suggest that one of her sponsorships froze their collaboration temporarily. Not because of the scandal itself, but because the tone around Rasheeda's image became too polarizing. Translation: you were the safe brand girl until you started throwing sneaky on-camera jabs like Avalanche in training. Now look, we're not saying Rasheeda's whole empire is crumbling, but we are saying this situation, and then, he kind of passed it up to you. Like, get our girl Kendra sis, you tried to come in as Rasheeda's backup singer. But baby, you hit all the wrong notes. Fans called her out instantly. Kendra acting like her man isn't Jock. Most scandal-prone cast member of all time, why is Kendra co-signing anything when Jock got more kids than Rasheeda got boutique racks? The memes where a miming one viral tweet even had a photo of Yandy sipping tea with the caption, "Yandy, watching Rasheeda." And Kendra throws shade while her man ain't out here multiplying. And speaking of multiplying, let's get to the legal tea Tasha K hinted at, according to her sources. Yandy's legal team quietly started documenting footage and social posts in case this shade fest started impacting her business. That's right, while Rasheeda was casually joking about fake marriages, Yandy was potentially preparing defamation receipts. Nothing's been officially filed yet, but sources claim there's been discussion about drawing the line if the show or other cast members keep falsely painting her relationship as fraudulent. And that's not all. There's even talk that a reunion confrontation is brewing. And not just your typical why? You say that momentan explosive 109 that could rival any of the Joe's Line versus Everybody classics. Mona Scott loves drama, but even she is allegedly nervous about how far this betrayal might go on stage. Oh, and let's not forget the Mendices angle while he's mostly stayed out of the spotlight post-prison. This recent wave of accusations, including the Snap scandal and shady hotel rumors, apparently pushed him to set boundaries, according to one insider. He told producers, "If y'all want messy drama, cool, but I'm not going to sit here and let people drag my name with no receipts. Either we show proof or we shut it down, period." And honestly, he's not wrong. While Kirk stirred is documented and published late, it's on the New York Times bestseller list, Mendices hasn't been exposed with anything concrete. Is there smoke? Maybe, but fire, not a spark. So here we are, one friendship shattered, one reality show rattled, and a fandom divided. What started as a petty comment in a confessional turned into a full-blown credibility crisis. Yandy, she walked in loyal and walked out scapegoated Rasheeda. She walked in as boss chick and walked out looking insecure and calculated Kendra. She should have just stayed home. Baby, but what's the bigger lesson here? That in the world of reality TV, loyalty is rented, not owned. One season your sisters, the next your content, and sometime messy people clapping for you at the reunion are the same ones who sold you out in the confessional. As Tasha K said best, these women don't want friends, they want followers, and when the cameras turn off, so does the loyalty. Coming up after the break, what other reality TV friendships are hanging by a thread? Could this shakeup lead to a new cast shift, or even a spin-off? Should Yandy walk away before the fake friendships break her for real? And will Rasheeda ever stop deflecting from Kirk's mess? Let us know in the comments. Was Rasheeda ever really Yandy's friend? Should Yandy clap back or keep it cute? And who do you believe, Tasha K or the boss chick? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because this ain't the end of the drama, baby. It's just the beginning. Phew. Y'all still breathing after all that? Because baby, this wasn't just reality TV mess. This was a full-blown betrayal breakdown, and Tasha K came through with the receipts like she was hosting court on YouTube live. 1 minute. You're watching Besties Brunch the next day, out here questioning marriages and consigning cheating husbands like it's a sport. So now it's your turn. Yep, I'm talking to you. Do you think Rasheeda was ever really Yandy's friend, or was it just for clout and camera time? Is Yandy playing it smart by staying silent, or should she clap back with the fury of a reunion episode? Chair throw. And Kendra sis, why are you inserting yourself when your man is out here spreading himself thinner than a dollar store wig cap? Let's be real, this friendship was held together with lace, glue, and delusion, and now the lace is lifting. Baby, drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I know y'all got opinions. Was this just another Love and Hip Hop scripted fallout, or did Tasha K just blow the lid off a friendship that was faker than Kirk's promises? Smash that like button if you're just as shocked, confused, and entertained as we are. Hit that subscribe if you love a good EXPO, served hot and messy. And don't forget to tap that notification bell so you never miss when we uncover the next reality TV fallout, secret affair, or stage scandal, because around here we don't sip tea, we drown in it. See y'all in the next one, and remember, trust no one who says we're just not that close, thire plotting. Bye. Bye.